I want fingertips, fingers, finger pads, thumb pad. I want them all contacting the ball, except just for the center of the palm there. Now my finger spread should be in a relaxed position. They shouldn't be as wide as they can be. Shouldn't be together. They should be in a relaxed spread on the ball. The last thing is hand position in relationship to each other. How do you judge that? By your thumbs. Take a look at the thumbs. They should, when you extend them, form a V. If you've got some other type of hand position on the ball, you can tell pretty easily that your thumbs don't form a V. So, hand in the center, guide hand on the side, contacting the ball, thumbs form a V. That concludes hand position. Our next section in building the shot involves the feet. The feet should be shoulder width apart for balance. Too close together, I'm going to lose my ability to keep my balance. Too wide apart, I lose my ability to pop off of the ground. The feet should be even, not staggered. Staggered makes me do two things. Twist my body, and I don't get equal power up through the legs. I want my feet even to deliver equal power up through my legs, up through my shoulders. I'll discuss this more in the chapter on misconceptions. The feet should be pointed toward the goal. If they're not pointed toward the goal, it has a tendency to turn my shoulders. To keep my shoulders straight and keep my shot straight, I want to start out with my feet pointing toward the goal. Things to check before you shoot. The first thing to check are your elbows. We don't want them out, we want them in. The second thing to check is your wrist. You want it set as far back as possible, preferably at 90 degrees. You also want a 90-degree angle at the elbow. If you do this, it sets the ball in the shot chamber, in the shot pocket. Vertically, that's from his chin to his waist. From here, he can pull the trigger and take a shot. He could still pass, he could still dribble. But this places the ball where his shot motion begins. It begins with his knees bending. And we don't want to bend too deeply, we just want to pop off of the ground. As he goes up, everything goes up. And the elbow, the shooting elbow, moves under the ball. And here comes the most important part, a part that I'll discuss in depth in Chapter 7. He must time the release of the ball with his feet coming off of the ground. This ensures that all that power that's generated by his legs goes right up his body and into the ball. The reason you want to check your form after you shoot is it will confirm whether you've shot correctly, or it will indicate flaws that occurred during your shot. And the amazing thing is, correcting those things or confirming that good form will change future shots. It will either ingrain a proper habit, or it will allow you to correct a bad one. Katie's a left-handed shooter, and Katie, I want you to go ahead and pretend you've just taken your shot. It's just left your hand. If she's a left-handed shooter, this is her shooting hand. The first thing she should check is her arm in a relaxed and full extension. I don't want her to have a bend in her shooting arm. I also want her to check her fingers and see that they're pointed down to the ground. And I want this hand, just like her arm, to be floppy and relaxed. I don't want it to be flexed. Now, while she's here, she can also check her feet and see that she hasn't overstepped, because this will turn her body. Katie is also going to check between her forearms and her wrist, see if she can see the goal between them. And she's going to check her feet and make sure they're pointed toward the goal. Katie's going to check her guide hand A good way to remember the proper form for this is to think about the tomahawk chop and how you would hold your fingers and your thumb. That's just about right. Thumbs up, fingers up. Shooting is an eye-hand coordination activity. And lots can be said about your hands and your form, but oftentimes not enough is said about your vision, about your eyes. Oh yeah, you can be told to look at the target, but does that mean the backboard? Does that mean the goal? There's 18 inches there. Why not shoot for the bullseye? Now the reason I want you to shoot for the bullseye is the same reason an archer aims for the bullseye. He wants to shoot that arrow at that very tiny target in the center, knowing that he's probably going to miss a little bit, but if he does, he's still going to be somewhere near the center of this big, huge target. If I'm shooting for this entire 18-inch goal, that's my target, that's what I'm aiming at, and I miss my target, I've missed my shot. But if I train my eyes to focus on that tiny bullseye, right in the dead center, that very, very tiny mark, I'm probably going to miss. But if I do, I could miss 4.5 inches off of my target, my bullseye, and still have a switch. So where's your target, your bullseye? Well, it's in the dead center of the rim from wherever you are. If you're straight on the way the camera is right now, it's right on the dead center front of the rim. But if you're a few feet to the left, then your bullseye has moved a little to the left